Hello, this is Helene, and I am doing a quick video on court reporting and comments, what journalists should keep in mind. So, we all know that court reporting requires meticulous focus and attention and a representation of what truly happened in court. That is what makes a journalist's court reporting successful. Accurate court reporting is paramount. Journalists who do court reporting should ensure that their reporting actually reflects exactly what happened in court. And if they do this, they can benefit from what is called the privilege defense, should they get sued for defamation. The privilege defense applies only to court reporting that accurately reflects what actually happened in court. Just a note on context, so as to explain why it's a very fair defense. In a court case, all of the parties implicated get the opportunity to tell their side of the story. This is why a journalist can simply sit in court, report on what happened in court without having to go to the accused, for example, and ask him for his version. All of it comes out during the court proceedings. Based on the fact that these proceedings give all the parties a chance to have their say, journalists benefit from the privilege defense if their court reporting is accurate. It does sometimes happen that a journalist leaves the courtroom and that he is then faced with community members who want to comment on what happened in the courtroom. If this is the case, comments that relate to the court case that you publish should be clearly distinguishable from trial reporting. The reasonable reader should be able to see, oh, this is the overview of the trial, and these are the comments on the trial held by whomever the community member is that you had an interview with. Very important, if comments on the trial are being made, they should not be contemptuous. Contempt of court is the unlawful and intentional violation of the dignity of a judicial official or the court itself. Let me give you an example. Contempt of court will happen in court if somebody jumps up and insults the magistrate. It can happen outside of court if a publication publishes a comment that amounts to an insult against the court or the presiding officer. So avoid contempt of court when including comments in your court story. Defamation should always be considered. I've referred to this earlier. As you know, the privilege defense could cause you to not be liable in a defamation case. However, keep this in mind. The moment you step outside the courtroom, you are no longer covered by privilege because you're no longer reporting what happens in court. So let's say you step out of the courtroom and a community member comes to you and comments on the case, but that comment implicates someone. It is defamatory of someone. In that case, you will need to ask that someone for comment in response to the community member comment on the court case. It gets complicated, but I'm sure you're still with me. The interest of justice must always prevail. Sometimes comments that people make on a court case for publication could have an impact on the outcome of the case. It sounds absurd, but here's an example. A few years ago on the East Rand, we had a community journalist who attended a court case and interviewed one of the family members who said, yeah, but they have the wrong accused. This person is not the accused at all. The guy who killed him is person X. The journalist made contact, asked whether she should include this comment, and my advice was that she should rather refer that community member to the police and ensure that the police are in contact with that person, because we are now going into the merits of the case. Who did it? What are the elements of the crime? As soon as you are, as comments try to make a finding on the merits of the case, avoid publishing those comments, because you do not want to publish anything that could have an impact on the outcome of the case. Publishing inaccurate information serves nobody, and I trust that this video has guided you on what to consider before including comments on a court case in your story.